If you've ever struggled on dating sites or at the bar, you've likely been asking yourself, what do women find attractive in men? It's a common question we get here as guys look for the one answer to get them attention from women. I'll talk about what girls find attractive in men in general. I'll also get specific and tell you exactly what attracts women to men more than anything else. Of course, we'll cover the things you need to avoid at all costs. It's not always what you can do but what you shouldn't be doing. Plenty of guys shoot themselves in the foot when they're meeting and dating women by doing various unattractive things without even being aware of it. If you know what women respond positively to and how to use this knowledge to your advantage, you'll be better off than the majority of men who are clueless around women. So let me ask you this, what do girls find attractive in a man as soon as they see him? We all know first impressions are important and that looks actually do matter when it comes to dating and seduction. But almost any man can buy fancy clothes, smell nice, get a nice haircut and lift weights. That's all fine and definitely makes you more attractive. But let's assume a woman walks into a room and sees dozens of men who have all of the above stuff handled. What does she look for then, when all the men are equally good looking? The answer is pretty simple. Body language, attitude, presence, vibe. You see, when all things are equal or when you don't take looks into account, women intuitively look for other things. One of the things that stands out the most in a crowded room is a person with powerful and confident body language. Why are women attracted to men who possess it? Because when a man displays great body language, it shows he's comfortable in his own skin. It also shows he's confident, isn't afraid of what others will think of him and is very likely to be a mentally and emotionally strong person. Which is incredibly attractive and something most women look for in men. So how do you attain powerful body language? First and foremost, by fixing any posture issues you may have. Because if you're slouching, if your head isn't held straight and if your shoulders are drooping, you're going to look anything but confident. But there are other important things as well, like moving in a purposeful manner. It stops you from rushing, looking indecisive, fidgety and hesitating around women. Especially when you're going to start touching them. Hesitation is one of the biggest attraction killers in men. Another important point is to look and feel comfortable. So don't be afraid to take up as much space as you need when you're doing something. Especially when sitting down or interacting with other people. You must put your own comfort first and feel comfortable wherever you're at. Women can't resist a man who's comfortable in his own skin. So much so that sometimes, women will show their interest in you if you have attractive body language. When you're searching for answers to, what do women find attractive in men? Then expressive body language is one of them. There's a huge difference in how attractive women perceive you to be when you're being expressive. This is doubly important for your facial expressions as well, because facial expressions play a huge role in conveying your personality to women as well as evoking strong emotions in them. A great expression to have when you're talking to women is a slight, sly smirk. It makes you look as if you know something they don't. For example, that you'd most likely show them a wonderful time, both inside and out of the bedroom, if given the opportunity. Being more expressive will make all your jokes and funny stories more hilarious. They'll turn your serious arguments into more impactful ones. And they'll make all of your seductive moves significantly more effective. Also, don't forget to make good and proper use of eye contact when you're around women. What do girls find attractive about it? Well, eye contact is proven to help increase intimacy and feelings of closeness with other people. It's very attractive when you can hold it and not look away in a shy manner because it shows dominance and strength of will. That's why it's crucial you practice holding eye contact with women as much as you can. Just make sure to not overdo it and don't keep staring at women because that can be borderline creepy. Let's face it, no one likes to hang out with a negative person who whines and complains all the time. What attracts women to men is an unflinchingly positive outlook on life and a great disposition. Because it shows you believe the future is going to be bright and are looking forward to it. And gives hints that you possibly have some great things going on in your life. In fact, it's one of the many things older women like in younger men, the positivity and zest for life. That said, having the right attitude about women is even more important than having a sunny disposition. For example, when meeting a woman for a date, believing you're going to make her day will do wonders for its success. Also, treating her like a normal person and not some goddess who you put on a pedestal is another massively attractive attitude to have. Why are women attracted to men who do this? Because they don't want to be objectified and worshipped. They want to be treated like regular human beings. In fact, This attitude alone will help you significantly when you're initially approaching women. Because guys often psyche themselves out when they put too much emphasis on women's looks, before even getting to know who they are as people. I mean, when you first meet a gorgeous woman, how do you even know she's a nice person? For all you know, she kicks puppies and stomps defenseless kittens on a daily basis. Or she could just be a rude, spoiled and bratty person in general. So, treat her like you would any other person. Find out who they are and only then decide if you're going to like them or not. What do girls find attractive in men who don't judge them on looks alone? The fact they have standards and a healthy sense of self-respect. Having a great presence is one of the core components of being a charismatic person. And charismatic people are always attractive to others. Men who like older women are very aware of this. Your presence can be described as the air, appearance or aura you convey when you enter any room with people. Basically, others notice your demeanor, poise and bearing when you're around them and act accordingly. As hokey as the concept of presence may sound, it's a real thing that affects others around you and impacts their perception of you. Do people brighten up, feel happier and more uplifted when you enter the room? Or do they suddenly become quiet, feel morose or drained of joy and energy? These are two extremes and your presence will largely determine how you affect them. So how does being aware of presence help you? The answer is the principle of state transference, which states that whatever you feel very strongly, other people around you will start feeling as well. For example, if you're completely beside yourself with joy and happiness, other people will start feeling better around you as well. And when you're completely down in the dumps, depressed or even terrified of something, people will start feeling uneasy as well. Because these strong feelings are contagious. If you walk around confidently with good posture, people will think you're someone worth getting to know. Women will find you more attractive. It's actually an evolutionary mechanism which allowed people in the past to know when to feel safe or when to flee danger. What do girls find attractive? A sexy vibe. Contrary to what many people think, most women who are single and don't have any hang-ups about sex will sleep with a man on the first day they meet him. Provided he can set a proper sexual frame and exude a sexy vibe when around her. So how do you do that successfully? How do you create an irresistible sexual vibe so women are attracted to you and feel compelled to take things further? By being honest about your intentions, by acting sexual when it's appropriate and also by creating sexual tension. If you're a younger man who likes older women, you know that their sex appeal can be overwhelming. But if you exude a sexy vibe, you might end up dating a sexy older woman. If you only act friendly around women, refrain from touching them, never speak about anything sexual or act weird when the subject comes up. Then don't be surprised if you remain just that, a friend. Then what do women find attractive in men who they crave to sleep with? These men are unapologetic about their sexuality, among other things. They embrace their sexuality fully, are never ashamed of it and think it's amazing but don't make a big deal of it. Men like that have absolutely no problem with talking to women about sex like it's the most normal and natural thing in the world. Because it is, as opposed to some guys who make things really weird and awkward as soon as the subject comes up. You see, women want to have sex with and are attracted to guys who are non-judgmental when it comes to sex. Guys who won't shame them or call them sluts after learning they want and enjoy sex a lot. Because as sad as it is, slut shaming is still a real thing and is a huge problem for many women around the world. So some won't want to reveal their naughtiness and sexuality to men for fear of shaming and being misunderstood. It's okay to talk to women however you like. But for them to become attracted to you sexually, there needs to be an underlying sexual vibe. It's the little things that make a huge impact in this case. For example, when you're with a girl you like and you're going in to hug her, hold it for just a second longer than normal friends would. When you whisper something into her ear, linger for just a moment more and gently smell her perfume. When your eyes meet, give her a penetrating glance which alludes to you knowing you can make her scream your name in bed later. In fact, even thinking various sexual thoughts around her will change your nonverbal communication towards something more seductive. Also, when you're deep in conversation and are getting to know each other, you can simply take her hand into yours and play with it or massage it while talking. Not giving it much attention, matter-of-factly. Then, to create sexual tension, you can eventually bring up topics which will make her think about sex in general. And if she starts thinking about sex while she's with you, she's going to eventually attribute those feelings to you. You also need to be physical with her throughout your whole interaction. Because physicality is another answer to. You start off slow, with a handshake or light hug when you meet. And then gradually ramp it up. Until you're eventually deep in your date and you begin touching her in places where mere friends never would. All of these things and more will make sure you're perceived as a sexual man and not just a friend. Finally, there are certain qualities men can possess which will make them attractive to any and all women. These include things like how assertive, driven, responsible and resourceful they are. How independent, self-reliant and focused on their goals they can be. As well as how reliable their physical, mental and emotional strength is. The last part is particularly important and I'll address it right away for your benefit. Women absolutely love and adore men who don't easily give in to their emotions and instead show emotional strength and stability. What do girls find attractive in this quality and why is it so important? Well, it shows high self-esteem, the ability to not care too much about what others think of them, strength of character and will. As well as resistance to manipulation and abuse. This is because if a man always lets what others say to him affect him emotionally, then he's weak. It means other people can easily control and manipulate him. It means he puts too much stock in the opinions of others and too little in his own opinion. That's definitely not attractive and women won't want to be with men who are weak mentally and emotionally. Manly men aren't afraid to stand up for themselves, to speak up and be decisive when it matters. They strive to get what they want and go at it full force and they make things happen because of this. That's what attracts women to men and that's what you should be focusing on. What do women find attractive in men? The question of what do women find attractive in men is a very important one and requires special attention. Hopefully, after observing everything, you're now better equipped with the knowledge to transform your dating life for the better. Now it's up to you to get out there and practice everything you've learned to get the results you desire, because women like men of action who go for what they want and face their fears.